It is hot outside today, guys. It's like 90 degrees. Today I'm going to show you how to make a swimsuit cover-up so you can wear it over a swimsuit on your way to the pool or layer it with a sundress for a fashion statement that won't make you overheat. You will need 3 to 4 yards of fabric, but if your fabric's really wide and you don't mind cutting your sleeves off grain, you can use 2 yards of fabric like I am. Mesh and webbing are the best materials to make a swimsuit cover-up out of, and remember that the bigger your holes are, the more difficult the fabric will be to sew with. This fabric is one of the main reasons I started the Sew Your Stash challenge this year, because I've had this for almost 9 years and I really want to use this fabric for something. So let's go make a swimsuit cover-up. You will need 3 measurements for this swimsuit cover-up. Your bust measurement, the length you want your cover-up to be starting at your shoulder, and the width of your sleeve. Make sure this is not too snug. It's better to have a few extra inches than to be too tight. Fold your fabric along the selvage edge and cut out your sleeves. I am cutting mine 21 inches wide, but make sure you add an extra inch or 2 for seam allowance. Then trim off the 2 ends so you have 2 separate sleeves. You can make your sleeves as long or short as you want. I like to leave this selvage edge at the bottom of my sleeves so I don't have to worry about hemming them later. Then trim the remainder of your fabric to your overall swimsuit cover-up height. I wanted 55 here, but I'll have a little bit less. Then find the midpoint for the top of your swimsuit cover-up. Then take your bust measurement, add 2 inches for ease and seam allowance, and divide that by 2. Then center that on your midpoint and mark the ends. You can cut straight from the shoulder to the hem, or you can flare it out towards the hips for a more relaxed fit. Or if your hips are wider than your bust, because then you'll need to do that to make it fit. Then cut a neckline 6 to 7 inches wide and carve it deeper in the front than the back. And you can round these shoulders down and scoop out the armholes if you want to, but since this is a really difficult fabric to work with and it doesn't pin well, I'm going to keep mine straight. I'm going to be using a walking foot or even feed foot today because this extra little feed dogs on top will help grip the fabric better and feed it through more evenly, which is really useful when you're working with a netting or a mesh that has a lot of holes in it, because a traditional presser foot tends to have a hard time gripping it. An even feed foot is a little tricky to install, but you will save a lot of time in not having to unpick your fabric while sewing with one. With your front and back right sides together, pin your shoulders together right below the seam allowance. Then sew your shoulders together. And tie off your ends before you trim them, because you can't backstitch through a netting or mesh that has really wide holes like this one. And finish your seam allowance. Lay that flat. Line the center of your sleeve up with the center of your shoulder seam. Pin your sleeves in place and then sew them on. Then lay everything flat so your neckline is in the center and your right side is facing up. Fold your cover-up along the shoulder seam and line up your sleeves and side seams. Pin your sleeves and side seams together starting at the armpit. Then sew along your sleeve all the way to the hem of your swimsuit cover-up. And don't forget to finish all your seam allowances. And once you've done that, you have a choice. You can either hem it or you can just be done. You don't have to hem mesh fabric if you don't want to. But if you do want to finish all your seams and hems and make them all nice and sealed in, you can use seam tape like this one did on the neckline, or double fold it like it did on the arm hem. I am not going to hem mine though. I like the raw edge look, and something I love about being able to make your own clothing is you don't have to follow all the rules. Alright, well I'm really excited to try this on because I think it came out really well, so let's go try it on. Perfect, you guys. This is exactly what I wanted to make with this fabric when I bought it 9 years ago. But it's kind of a good thing I waited so long to make this too, because it was kind of a difficult fabric to work with. And if I had tried to make this when I first bought it, I wouldn't have had the experience and the expertise, and I wouldn't have known how to do it right, and I probably would have ruined it, and that would have made me really, really sad. I'm also really, really glad I started the Sew Your Stash challenge this year, because this is one of the fabrics I was really trying to push myself to use and make something with, and now that I have, I'm so glad. I'm like really beyond happy that I finally did something with it. This really is the perfect layer for summer. I have like so many dresses I can pair this with. It's gonna be so cute with like everything in my closet. This is the perfect length, it's the perfect flowiness and swishiness, and I love these sleeves. They're just so much fun, and it's so cute, and I love it, and I'm so happy I made it. It's perfect. I hope you guys have your summer closets ready, because now I do. If you guys like making summer clothing as much as I do, then leave a like on this video, and let me know down in the comments below if you have anything that you made this year that you really love. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my videos when I make fun clothing like this. Thank you so much for watching my video today, everyone. I will see you guys next week. Hey, what are you doing?